Hello, Super Nerd friends, and welcome to Monday. I will be your host today, Alexis. It is still me, even though, surprise, I got my hair dyed red. You don't need to adjust your coloring, it is dyed. It took about 3 hours to do it, and it's not done because the ends, I don't think you can tell, but they're kind of pink-ish, and I don't want them to be pink. So my sister and I are going to fix it tomorrow before I go to work. But yeah, I kind of love it right now. It's kind of weird because as I'm looking at myself in the computer screen when I'm recording this, I feel like this is how I always look. Like this is just what color my hair normally is. So it's not weird to me. It's still kind of weird because I'm like, oh my gosh, my hair is red. Like, I don't know, it's kind of intense. But I look super good in blue. And yeah, I don't know, I kind of love it. So, yeah. Yay, I hope you guys like it too, and it's not just me loving it. My parents are not too happy about it, I guess. My mom likes it better when I'm blonde, although she said this fits my personality, which I agree. And my dad basically is like, I need some time to get used to it. But, you know, they'll come around and it'll be good. Discussion questions were brought up about paper towns by Becky, and I am going to go through them real quick, I guess. There were a lot of questions and interesting ones, but a few that we focused on, or you guys focused on in your videos, that I'm going to talk about. One of which being the strings versus the grass versus the cracked vessel. I do agree that the cracked vessel is flawed in that it doesn't make that much sense to me. Like, I don't think it's accurate to life. It does make sense, the metaphor, obviously, in the book. I think, but it fits there much better than it does in real life. Becky, I like your suggestion for the strings that if you were able to repair them, then that one would be a good one. I kind of agree with that. That people, I guess that would be kind of their patience for what they're willing to endure during life. And as it goes, like, as time goes on, things get cut, but, you know, upon further reflection in the past, then maybe you would realize that things weren't as bad, or that things have helped you that you thought were difficult or painful, and then they would be fixed. But I don't really know. I also think the grass is very kind of hippie-ish and cute in a way. You know, it's kind of nice that you can think, you know, that you could think about someone so much and try to understand them and be so empathetic that you could become that person. But I also agree that it is impossible. That we always think about things the way we think about things, no matter how hard we try to think like someone else, we will always revert to the way that we see the world. Now, one theory we didn't mention, I guess, is the balloon theory, which is kind of different, I guess, but the idea that once your string is cut, you're kind of out in the world, and you will end up somewhere, but you don't know where it is, and you're just kind of flying through life. I thought that was kind of interesting, that there's a moment for people, you know, like Margot wanting to leave, where they just cut their string and they're gone. One thing I want to talk about, not related to discussion questions, was the happiness upon leaving that John talks about a lot, like the joy of going away from somewhere and heading somewhere else. Like, then you don't want to leave, but it is true. Like, I don't know, we measure time in things before I can do the next thing. Like, people love graduating because it means they can get on to the next thing in their life. And yeah, I don't know, I just think that's really kind of fascinating, because I'm thinking about, you know, right now I'm thinking about how much time I actually want to spend in Moses Lake, because I can go to Las Vegas whenever I feel like it. I definitely don't want to go now because it's extremely hot there, and I'm really enjoying my job and everything, but I do still think about leaving, which I find kind of fascinating, that I'm happy here, I really am, but I'm still thinking about when I'm going to leave. And that, I don't know, I just think that's interesting, because I never thought of leaving being enjoyable, because you think of all the people in your life who leave you, and usually you're very upset, but when you are leaving, it's like a great feeling, you know? So when Margot leaves Quentin, he's dying inside. But when Quentin leaves his home and kind of leaves his parents, not obviously not in the same state because they know where he's going, but in a similar state, he is happy as a clam because leaving feels great. I guess it's the idea of a fresh start. That once you leave somewhere, you have a fresh start somewhere else. So one of the other questions was about the different versions of Margot, and I don't know. I liked that Haley brought up Quentin's parents' version of Margot because I thought that was very funny, I guess. I just thought it was funny that they were both therapists. But it was very kind of clinical, decently accurate, I think, but yeah, I definitely wasn't a fan of Quentin's, obviously, because he's in a dream state of her not being a real person, and obviously she is. But I kind of liked Lacey's because Lacey recognized once she learned the different things that Quentin had learned about Margot, she was like, oh, she really wasn't the person I thought she was. And I also kind of liked Ben's interpretation, I guess, of her, which was often like, dude, she's just a girl, trying to get Quentin to be normal and kind of have fun. But, yeah, I don't know. I don't think Radar really had his own vision of her. He was just kind of going along with Quentin. And obviously her parents' version of her was very, I don't know, biased, I guess, because they're around her all the time and they've seen her at her worst times and they're in charge of her. Which is why Quentin's parents was nice, because they were really unbiased. But I don't know. I guess of all of them, this sounds kind of cheesy, but I really like Margot's version of Margot because, you know, she's conflicted about who she is, and I feel like that's really common with a lot of people. Like that, it takes a long time to figure out who you are, who you feel like you should be, and I don't know, just making yourself who you want to become. I'm now going to choose our next book from the hat. I took my suggestions out, so drum roll, and this one, which is The Diamond Age. I think that one's still in. Haley took a couple of her suggestions back and replaced them with different things. So I think that was one of Becky's books, Diamond Age. But we should probably, I guess I'll just look on the Facebook to make sure. But yeah, so hopefully that one's still in. And if not, I will have to get another one. But it will probably happen after this vlog. So yeah. I love you guys. I've been trying to call you, but you're not answering, so pick up your phone. And I'm excited to see your videos for us to start our new book. And yeah, love you. Bye.